What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Phil.
And I'm Leroy. So, do I have to ask you what's up and how's everything?
Everything's is what it is. That's all I say. Happy Valentine's Day for the ladies.
Uh, well, yeah, we're here for our wrap up of the Super Bowl. What was it? Super Bowl 57, 55
Something like
against the
that. I don't know.
against the Chiefs and our Philadelphia Eagles. Let's do some stats real quick. On the Chiefs side, we got Patrick Mahomes, 21 for 27, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. Rushing, we have Petrie, 15 carries for 76 yards. Mahomes,
Petrie.
uh, Pacheco, how do you pronounce his
That's
name?
better. Like it. Yeah, that's more
Okay.
like it.
15 carries for 75 yards, and Patrick Mahomes, 4 carries for 44 yards. We got Jason Kelsey, 6 receptions for 81 yards, and Juju Smith-Schuster, 7 receptions for 53 yards. On the Eagles side, we got Jalen Hurts, 27 for 38, 304 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing, we have Jalen Hurts, 15 carries for 70 yards. Gainwell and Sanders both have 7 carries apiece. Receiving, our boy Devontae Smith, 7 receptions, 100 yards. And A.J. Brown, 6 receptions for 96 yards. Again, shitty football, as we always talk about. We've been saying that numerous times. Go ahead.
Yeah, we call this all year. It's like when we don't use our running backs, we struggle.
Yep.
And we went right into this game. There's no way your starting quarterback got more carries than your two starting running backs. That's
Yep.
ridiculous. And Miles Sanders had 2 carries at the half. What the fuck was they waiting on? This is the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
He's fresh because you didn't use him all year that much.
Yep.
But man, average 5 yards a carry. What more do you want from him?
Exactly. Now, before we start talking about more stuff about the game, let's talk about this shitty field. The
They
field
did
was
that
so
shit. I
damn
feel like
shitty.
they did that shit on purpose too.
Oh, okay, so the thing is, right now, they said it was because of the paint, and this was some new grass and all that stuff,
Man, I ain't
right?
trying to hear that shit. This is the
So,
Super Bowl. That field's supposed to be perfect.
but they said that the grass. Do you see how they have to roll out the grass from the outside and
Mm-hmm.
roll it back in? I thought that was pretty decent, but the grass was supposed to be new or whatever, and it took them like a couple of weeks for them to to build it and everything. Okay, and they put the paint in. They didn't just put that paint in yesterday. That paint probably been there for probably about a couple of days, probably since the beginning of the week. You didn't know that field was slippery like this?
They did that shit on purpose. And
Yeah,
they
it was
they
ridiculous.
they had the right cleats and they was chilling and we sitting there sliding and falling all over the place.
Yep. And let's talk about these referees.
God damn.
The referees, I swear, I don't know about this fixing and all that stuff, but as we already know with Tim Donaghy, the NBA referee,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to control the game when you're a referee because
It
that
like I was gonna say, you can't really fix the game, but you can sway it in one direction. You know what I
right,
mean? On a sneak tip.
right, because he said it's easy. He said it was easy to do. Said it wasn't nothing hard about it. The sway a game to
Well,
wherever which
you
way
still
that.
got to mask it and do it on a sneak tip where it's not obvious. But these refs was fucking up left and right in the biggest game.
Right.
We could talk about that Devontae Smith catch. Yeah, the ball hit the ground, but he still had control of it, and his arm was under the ball.
Well,
If you make a catch and the ball can hit the ground, as long as you still have control of it.
my thing is about that is he caught the ball. Okay, it was a weird catch or whatever like that, but he still had control over it. Once it's out of bounds, he had his 2 feet in and it went out of bounds. To me, that's like the play is over. Why is you still judging if the ball is underneath or bobbing and hitting the ground or not? It's out of bounds. Now, if he caught it like that and he fell inbounds on the ball, was like bouncing on the ground, I give
Mm-hmm.
you that because it was still in play, but it's out of bounds. He had his 2 feet in and he went out of bounds. He had
Mm-hmm.
control of the ball and all that stuff. When he fell, that's when the ball, got kind of funny on the ground. So, but the play is over with. I'm
Mm-hmm.
confused.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. And then what's this shit about these refs talking about? They called it twice and threw the flag on it, where you have to give the other team enough time to make a substitution.
Right.
Now Now, in all my years of football, I've never seen a ref stop the flag with a flag to say you got to get the other team enough substitution. That's the whole purpose of the hurry up, to get them off guard. If you ain't making it enough time before that ball snap, oh well. That was
Right.
straight bullshit, man. It was highway robbery.
And how about when you used to play Madden back in the day, when you had the offense and you would try to hurry up, and then you'll see like the men running off the field and then running back on the field to get
Yep.
in position and all that stuff. I mean, like, look, if you ain't ready, that's your fault. If you the
We
defense,
we seen motherfuckers hurt, limping out of the field and diving out of the field so they don't get caught for, like, too many players on the field and shit like that, and haul ass and to get back in the game for other players. So now all of a sudden you got to give them enough time. That was bullshit. I've never
right,
seen them call that, and they called it twice on us.
right. Well, Philip, the positive side on this is the Eagles football god smiled upon us.
Oh yeah, I
Let's
know what
start
you're talking
first.
about.
Let's start with Shane Sketchin. The offensive coordinator is now the head coach. Now let's talk about this offense. Like
What did you
Philip
call
said,
him?
Sketchin,
No, Steichen.
Steichen. I'm sorry.
God damn, you be fucking up some names. I'm like, what you talking about catching? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't need to know his name anymore. So, so let's talk about this offense. Well, as Philip just mentioned, what the fuck? How is your running back? A running back? Did he go to the pro? He went to the Pro Bowl, right?
Yes, he's in the Pro Bowl.
Okay, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Only have 7 carries in the Super Bowl. Cause I'm like looking, he had that first carry, and it was -1 yard. After that, I didn't see him again until like what? Like the like towards the end of the second half.
Yeah, well, the end of the second quarter, I think he got no. I think he had 2 carries at the
Quarter.
half.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
quarter. Yeah. And I'm like, well, damn, where the hell is Miles? And then that's when I told you I had asked our boy Mir, and he said that he was hurt, like going
they did
going
say
into
he went
that
to the
tent.
locker room, but I don't think
Uh-huh.
he was hurt.
Right.
I ain't see
So
no hits. I ain't see nothing that said he was hurt. He might have been
nope.
on the sideline bitching, and they didn't want to use him or something. I don't know, but he wasn't hurt.
Y-
And then
y-
I saw later in the game he got a carry for like 9 yards, and then he didn't touch the ball again.
yep.
I was like, what the fuck is this about?
Poor game planning on the offensive coordinator front. I want to know, how does it go like during the meetings? Who comes with the game plan? Do the offense coordinator come with the game plan and the coach says yes or no? Or the coach says like, look, this is what I want y'all to do, and they just formulate to what the coach say? How does it work?
I think the offensive coordinator comes with the game plan, and the head coach make adjustments to it. But as long as the head coach is not the offensive coordinator, when shit goes sideways, he can always say, well, the offensive coordinator got to do a better job, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Me and the
Right,
offensive coordinator got to have a meeting. We got to do a better job, but it's not all on him. You know what I mean? If he's by himself, then it's all on you. You call some fucked up plays.
right.
So I'm glad Shane Steichen is out of here, and I hope we get a fucking dude that is going to run the ball. It's too bad we're going to lose Miles Sanders because now they don't want to pay him. He's coming off his rookie contract. It's time to get paid, and they're not going to pay him.
Yeah, Miles
They
Sanders.
they tried their hardest to phase him out of the offense, and the little bit of touches he got, he made it count. I think it
Yeah,
was only maybe 2 starting runs, maybe 2 or 3 starting running backs all year that averaged 5 yards a carry, and he was one of them. So that tell you right there, he deserves some touches.
right. Nice to meet you, Miles. Good play for the Eagles, but you won't be here next year. We'll get into the free agents and all that stuff later. And another thing about the offense is, what the hell? Why does Hurts have to have the ball all the time? See. Shout out to Andy Reid too, by the way, because Andy Reid was horrible at making on the fly adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And he sure did it this game,
Mm-hmm.
because the
Well,
Eagles
he
was
used his running back, and that's just like the other guy that he had when he won a championship. He used that running back. What's his name? Hilaire,
uh-huh.
Edwards Hilaire. He
Yeah,
used his running backs. He learned. But these guys today, man, for our team, man, they don't want to. They try their hardest. It's like, damn, dude, Jalen Hurts got to do everything. Let him hand the
exactly.
ball off and let running backs do their job.
Right. First quarter, first half, I'm sorry, the Eagles played good. That second half, the Chiefs figured out that every time when they hiked the ball, either Hurts was going to run it, or he was going to do that run option. Boy, he'll still have the ball in his hands.
Mhm.
What I'm gonna do as a defense, I'm gonna chase him down. That's
Exactly.
why every time.
Just go after the quarterback every play, and you're gonna win
Yep,
because he's
that's
not
why.
giving it to the running back.
Yep, that's why every time when he hiked the ball, they were
And
on. He was on a
yep.
run.
And Pat Mahomes, the whole second half, he just nickel and dime his way to a championship. He didn't even
Yep.
throw it down the field one bit, and our defensive coordinator just did never adjust it. He's throwing 5-yard passes, and you can't adjust to that. Like,
Yep.
why is our safety so far back if he ain't throw the ball downfield all game?
Yep.
Bring them up, let them play short coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that during the season. I said our rookie linebacker should get some clock because they showed a stat where our what's his name Kaiser White.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the worst starting linebackers in football when it comes to like covering tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. So that should tell you right there, he should at least be sharing the ball with another linebacker. Why is
Yep.
he in there if tight ends and running backs are just busting our ass on short shit? And we never made an adjustment for that.
Well, like Philip said, the Eagles football guys and smiled on us again. Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator, is now the Arizona Cardinals coach. Thank
Good
you.
riddance.
Just like also what Mayor said, this guy's been like on cruise control. We've been talking shit about the defense all year round,
Yep.
especially with Reddick. Reddick wasn't doing shit in the mid in the beginning of the first 3 or 4 games because he
Mm-hmm.
had him playing so far back. So
Yep.
then when
Dropping
he
them in
start
coverage.
right, so then when he started blitz, he like Mayor said again, he could have had like 20 sacks this season.
Yep.
He could have had to, and then they get into the Super Bowl. The Eagles is known for rushing the quarterback. Look at all the sacks that our defensive linemen have. Look at all the sacks they have, and they can't get one sack with a guy with a bad ankle
Right.
because your defensive coordinator is not making them go for the football,
He
not
wasn't
making them
playing.
sack the quarterback.
He's a bitch, and he wasn't playing aggressive.
Exactly. And then, like you said about the running game, now the Eagles was good at stopping the run. Now they can't stop the run in the Super Bowl. And what was this with all these wide open passes for the touchdowns?
Oh yeah, that was driving me crazy. It's like what was it like third and goal? They at the 5, and you send every single player and leaving guys wide open. He had like 3 guys wide open, nobody in sight. Like what the
Yep.
fuck? What the kind of shit is that?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a linebacker and he tell me to blitz and I see it's a guy on the wing right here by himself, I said I'll be thinking like, well, damn, if I blitz, this guy gonna be over here by himself. But I guess you just listen to what the coach say. You don't fucking question it.
Right.
Watch these
So,
guys get fired after like 2 years.
yeah, yep. Shout out to our players because they're the ones that put us in the Super Bowl. Our coaching staff ain't do shit. I ain't see anything. I didn't see any great coaching decision, even from the head coach.
Well,
Everything was like
the head coach
players.
gets all the blame because our team had enough talent to be the champions right now. And
Yep.
with Pat Mahomes and them, all they did was ran the ball and did 5-yard passes the whole second half, and that's how they beat us. We had a 10-point lead, looking good in the first half, and then y'all just got lazy.
Yep. And then
No adjustments.
when our coach was crying before the game started, I said, "Oh shit,
I didn't see that.
we in trouble." Our boy Chris Stapleton was singing. He wasn't singing a national anthem. I don't know what song he was singing, and my man was just crying buckets.
Yeah, I
I
missed all
said,
that. I
"Oh
missed all the
shit,
first stuff.
we are in trouble.
I
We are
actually
in
missed like
trouble."
I actually missed like the all the intros. I missed the first two scores for both teams. So I came
Wow.
in kind of late. I
Oh,
was
okay. You
over at
just
Celeste's house and Big Todd, man, they don't answer the door. And I go over the house because they've been harassing me all week about their box and they can't get their shit to work. So I go over there. Celeste's not home, but I know Big Todd's there because I hear the music blasting like crazy as soon as we pull up. I'm ringing the doorbell, no answer. I'm like, this dude got to be down there fucking blazed up, just fucking playing on the DJ equipment. I'm
hmm
yelling through the basement window, yo, Big Todd. Nothing. And I'm calling his phone. As soon as I pull off and get to my what you call it, Shay folks' crib, that's when they hit me up. He's like, I'm in here, come on back around. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit. So I got caught up with him and shit because they don't update. He don't update nothing. He don't know nothing. So it was a big mess. I'll talk to you about that another time, but it was a mess.
uh Well, as Philip mentioned Miles and Kaiser White. I have a list of some top free agents. Well, guys that's up for free agency at the end of the season, And I want you to say like yes or no. Should we re-sign him or let him go? Well, you started off first with 26-year-old outside linebacker Kaiser White.
He's a free agent.
Yes.
It's nice knowing you.
Yeah, he should be going. All right, next up we got 32-year-old defensive end Robert Quinn.
Peace. It's a shame because he got a 18 or 17 sacks last year, but this year he ain't play a lick of football.
Yeah.
But it's cool. He can roll.
All right, we
He's a
got
little up there in age anyway.
we got 29-year-old cornerback James Bradbury.
I would re-sign him, but I know the Eagles are not going to re-sign him because it's time for him to get paid, and they got to sign their quarterback, so they don't want to have a lock up too much money in a cornerback.
Right.
So I say keep him, but I know the Eagles are probably good chance they letting him go.
Right. We got another 29-year-old guard Isaac Shimudo.
I tell you like this, I'll keep all the offensive guards and offensive linemen. I'll keep all my linemen.
All right. Now we have 25-year-old running back Miles Sanders.
I would keep him, but the Eagles are probably going to let him walk.
Yeah, they're gonna let him go. But they're not gonna tie up money
We
into it.
we
Like you
we
said,
we talked about this a lot when we watch games and we notice like why this player is not being used like they should. It's almost like a phase out. Then when you look at their contract, you say, "Well, damn, this is their last year." You would think they would be using them. Nope, they
right,
phase them out like that. So then when it comes to negotiations, you can say, "Well, look, you ain't really do shit," or in the Super Bowl. So
right,
I would keep
and
him because he's a good young running back, and
and
they probably going to let him go.
they're gonna let him go. They're we talked about the cap, and they're like really like I think they got like 4 or 5 million left on the cap this season. So
Hmm.
you ain't gonna tie up in no money into no running back, and he's gonna want big money because he deserved it because he had a good year. He made it to the Pro Bowl,
And this is his
and
first contract. I can understand if you don't want to give him a second contract. After your rookie deal, your first contract should be your best contract.
right,
Now, if you fucking elite, that's when you get a third contract that's also like big money. But
right.
this is his first contract. He deserved it. He made the Pro Bowl and he had a good year.
And this new football, they don't give a shit about no running back. So
Definitely
running
don't.
backs are not used like how they used to use it back in our day.
And that's why the
Uh,
game is shitty right now because
just
everybody
just
just want to sit back and throw.
just like Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry was in like the I say what like late 2000s. I mean I'm like early 2000s.
90s,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
late
late
90s, early
90s, early
2000s. Yeah.
2000s. He'd be a
Hmm.
damn star.
Yep.
He can walk down the street. Nobody will know who Derrick Henry is.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're not going to tie up no money into no running back. Sorry, they'll probably just draft one. How's that dude that Mir always talk about? Brazon Robinson, is that his name?
Bijan, yeah. I think he's going to be a first round pick. He got hurt, and you know how I feel about drafting hurt motherfuckers. But
Hmm.
he's a stud. You know what I mean? He's going to be a star. But I think he's going to go high. And the Eagles, we don't use like first round picks for running backs, so I don't think we're going to get him.
Now, is he a big running back or like a small running back?
Uh, I don't know. He's fast, so he might be like mid.
Okay, all right. Now we got 25-year-old safety C.J. Gardner Johnson.
I would resign him.
Okay. Now we got 27-year-old safety Marcus Epps.
Resign.
Okay, we got another 27-year-old running back Boston Scott.
Resign him.
Yes, I say resign him also. We have 28-year-old who I can't even believe that he's 28. Seems like he should be older. Wide receiver Zach Pascal.
Let him go.
See, I say sign him and cut Quest Watkins and get a wide receiver in the draft.
You already drafted a receiver, the secret weapon.
Oh yeah, but he can't get even out of the practice squad.
Well, the reason what they were saying is because he did all that training for the Olympics. So they
Hmm.
were saying like he wasn't in football conditioning. He was more like just running speed for Olympic conditioning. So that's why they like stashed him and didn't really use him. But they were supposed to all that talk about him being a secret weapon for the Super Bowl, and they finally activate him and had him activated all year, but activate him for the Super Bowl and still don't use him. We get nothing in the return game, but you're not putting Boston Scott or this guy back there.
Yeah.
Make no sense. But That's why I would let Pascal go, because I would get this guy some clock. He'd
Okay.
be a good third guy because he's fast as shit and he can catch.
Okay. We got 28 I'm sorry,
His name
26.
is is it Devin or Devon? Because I always say he got a black dude name.
I don't know. I thought it was Devon.
It might be Devon, and that sounds like a black dude to me.
We got 26-year-old linebacker TJ Edwards.
I'm not a fan of his, but I would re-sign him. I mean, he do get a lot of tackles, but to me, it seemed like his tackles are after the play tackles. Like after
Mhm.
the running back get through the hole, gain some yards, then he make the tackle. After the receiver or tight end make the slant, after they make the catch, then he get the tackle. You don't see him like disrupt plays. He don't break up catches. He don't force fumbles. He don't get interceptions. He just get a whole bunch of tackles. But I guess that's good, so I'll resign him because you don't know what you got if you ain't got him there.
Right. We got 27-year-old tackle Andre Dillard.
I would resign him. Like I said, all the offensive linemen I'm resigning if I can.
Mhm. All right, and last but not least, your boy, 34-year-old Brandon Graham.
I'll resign him. The
Yeah,
Eagles are probably going to let him walk because that's what we do.
yes.
But my man just had his best year after coming off a damn ACL tear.
Right, 11 sacks.
hmm He
11
should have
sa-
been. He should have been a comeback player of the year. I don't know how they give it to that quarterback because that quarterback wasn't hurt. He was a bum all his career and injured. That's not comeback. Comeback is for a starter that got hurt, and then this is his comeback. Not somebody just out the blue just came up out of nowhere when you've been in the league 10 years and ain't did nothing. That's not
Mhm.
comeback player of the year. What you coming back from?
Right. And
It could
by
be
the
like
way,
most improved. That's what he should have won, most improved. But
by
that
the
was that
way,
was Brandon Graham. But we got burnt for all our awards.
they shit. Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. They shitted on the Eagles that whole award ceremony.
Definitely.
How Jalen Hurts only get one MVP vote?
Yeah, that's
One.
crazy.
Right, one. And what you think about Fletcher Cox and well, you already said Kelsey. You want Kelsey to come back.
Yeah,
And what about
all the offensive linemen I'm bringing back because those guys are elite and they play together real good. And it's hard to find good linemen across the board. We got that, so keep them.
all right now? What about
Fletcher Cox,
yeah?
I would bring him back. Now,
Hey,
when I say I bring like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, I'm bringing them back, but I'm not breaking the bank. Now, if they want to break the bank, they can roll, but I'll give them like some good quality money. You know what I mean? If I
so
can,
are we talking about just a 1 year deal?
yeah,
Oh, okay, all
because
right.
they're up there in age. I give Fletcher Cox another deal, but if everybody running up on us, like we had good deep run defense, but now if I bring it back for 1 year and everybody running up and down the middle on us, he got to roll after that 1 year. Brandon
Okay.
Graham, he got to get sacks. So he had 11 this year. If he turn around and give me 4 or 3 or some shit, he got to roll. It's time to retire.
All right. So what about if he come back? He give you seven.
Then he can get another 1 year deal. He
Okay.
probably averaged because he probably averaged 7, so that's still him doing what he averaged. You know what I mean? He probably
Okay.
averaged like 6 or 7 for his career per year.
Right. Now, is there any offensive coordinators or defense coordinators that's out that you have a person that you would want? Because I'm 100% sure either one of those coaches is going to be from the Eagles. They already here. One of these coordinator jobs is going to be filled by someone that's already here. I don't think they're going to get an outside. They probably get one outside one and one
hmm
in house.
Well, I don't really pay attention to like who the top offensive coordinators in the game, so I don't know.
Hmm.
If I had a team, I would lean more heavily on like an owner. I would lean heavy on my coach. I don't want you blaming the offensive coordinator. If I'm paying you to be the head coach, you need to oversee everything. If the offensive coordinator fucking up, then you need to adjust and make and get in there and call some plays or something.
Yeah, but does he have that power yet?
He's the
Would
head
you?
coach. He picks the guys that he on his staff. So it's up to him who's going to be the offensive coordinator.
So that's not. So the GM don't do that.
Well, I think the GM is the one that signs him, but I think that he has to sit down with the coach and say like, well, I'm thinking about getting this guy. What you think of this guy? And if he say no, then the GM not going to get him. They're not going to bring a guy in that you bumping heads with or you have a different philosophy against.
Hmm. All right. So what do you want to see? the Eagles do this upcoming season? First of all, the first question is, do you think this was a flash in the pan? Can they make it to the Super Bowl next season? And then what you want to see from the Eagles next season?
I think if we can bring back most of our players, the guys that I said bring back, include Miles Sanders. If you're not going to get Miles Sanders, get another guy that's going to. But what good is having a guy there if you're not going to use him? You got to get a good guy there, and you got to use him. You know what I mean? If you're not
Hmm.
going to use him, same with Devin Allen. You got to use him. Like, he's a burner. He's known as a kick returner, punt returner, but he set the bench all year. We got shit from our kick returner, punt returner this year. So you got to use him. Let him play. Let him play the slot because he fast as shit, and then that'll hurt people.
Hmm.
You got a running back. You got to use your running backs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Defense. I think our defense is okay, but I think the defensive coordinator sucks. So we need to get a good defense coordinator in here that
Right.
know how to put some schemes together and not just sit back and be all modest and giving the field up. Because if you think about it, we all year we had that bend but don't break secondary. We're gonna give
Yes.
up some plays. We're gonna give up some yards underneath, but we ain't gonna catch the deep one on us. And that shit
Hmm.
hurt us in the Super Bowl. You gave her underneath, and they bust your ass all the way to a championship.
Yep. And I was like looking, I'm like, and Mahomes just they just marching down the field on small shit, just like you were
Yeah.
saying. And I'm like, damn. And like, here it go with this bend but don't break bullshit. And I'm like, all right, now maybe we can stop them right here. And here they go, these score wide open touchdowns.
Hmm. I think we need to let N'Kobe Dean play and let him play hard. Let him go after the quarterback. He'll get interceptions. He'll fucking smash people. Like, he's way better than Kaiser White. So let him play next year. I think we need a new safety. I'm not sure who the safety is,
Mm.
but I think we need a safety back there. And if you
uh,
let
uh,
Bradbury, I think Bradbury went to the Pro Bowl if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he didn't. But he should be. We should get a cornerback if we don't have him.
was
A
Epps
qu-
starting?
no, Epps wasn't starting.
Okay. See,
I think they had what's the guy with the two last names? I think he played one side safety in the Super
mm,
Bowl, and I forget who the other guy is, but I forget who it was.
Gardner Johnson, you talking about?
Yeah, Garner John. They had him playing safety in I think he's a cornerback, but they had him playing safety in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and they had Bradbury, and what's the other cornerback name? The Pro Bowl dude getting his
Slay.
ass bust all second
Slay.
half. Yeah, Slay.
Mhm. Yeah, because Bradbury and Gardner Johnson is both free agents. Both of them ain't coming back.
Right.
So I say that someone had asked me, and I said, "Well, I don't know if any safeties, free agent wise, they don't really have much money, and they got to wrap Jalen Hurts up. Jalen Hurts will probably be number one. They'll probably try to work on.
But
Eh,
the way you do him is you give him like a 5 year deal and you front load that money in a bonus, and then that way it don't hurt your cat too bad.
Right, right. So I don't know if any like good safeties is out there that's free agents, but I'm thinking they'll probably just draft one, draft a good one. Whoever's like the good in the NCAA, I don't know. I
Right.
can't really
Yeah, you
tell
can
you.
do that too. We got a couple first round picks, I believe. So
Right.
we can draft the safety. For some reason, every year we do the same thing. I mean, we broke the mold the last couple years, but for the most part, we always get an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman almost every year.
Hmm. So yeah, that's what I think.
We can do it
Because
again. The NFC is not that tough right now. You ain't got none of them boys like Breeze and Aaron Rodgers to worry about. Dak gonna be Dak. Like, who else we got to worry about?
uh,
Uh, Cousins gonna be Cousins. Same shit every year with him. Big numbers that don't win shit.
right.
So the NFC is wide open. You can easily run through the NFC again.
Okay. All right. So yeah, because like Gardner Johnson and Bradbury both free agents. They're not signing both of them back. They'll probably sign one of them.
Well, Bradbury played good all year, and everybody was surprised that the Giants. I think it was the Giants that let him go, but they let him go
Hmm.
because they didn't want to pay him, and then we gripped him up on like a 1 year deal. Now it's time for him to get paid. Like, damn, you pay the man.
Right.
You don't got to make him. He's not. He didn't show that he's one of the best in the league. So pay him starter quality money. You know what I mean, and lock him up. You don't got to give him the best. I
Hmm.
bet he could have fucking got an interception and ran that shit back for the Super Bowl, and he's probably still wouldn't have signed it.
And another thing. the next offensive coordinator, please stop with these weird ass plays they use. And another thing, knock it off on a run pass option. Do you have to do run pass option every
Every
damn
goddamn play.
right?
And then we were just all fucked up. I think the head coach, Sirianni, I don't think he was ready for the Super Bowl because at least like 2 or 3 times we got delay of penalties. Like
Yeah.
that's your head coach not getting to play in time. Now we getting into the line. I'm like, hike, hike, hike. Even the ones we do hike is only like 1 second left. And I can understand
Hmm.
like milking the clock to keep it out of Pat Mahomes' hand, but you don't milk it to the point you getting penalties.
Yep. Yeah, that's undisciplined to be getting those delayed games like
Yeah,
that.
that's the coach. He wasn't prepared.
Yeah. Well, all right, Philip. This is our football season finale, so we can go back to interviewing people. I'm gonna try to talk to Chase and see what's up if we can go to his gym
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
interview him. But before we go, let's give some shout outs. We got the episode 117, Eagles versus Lions. We have Mike Hill came on with us, Detroit. I think he was from Detroit. Twitter handle Hill 8 Mike. Episode 119, we got the Jaguars versus I'm sorry, the Eagles versus the Commanders. We have our boy Reggie Cole. This is Reggie Cole's second time on here. His Twitter handle Skins Fan RC3. Next up is my boy from episode 120, Eagles versus Jaguars, Emmanuel Thierland. His Twitter handle is IAM2 THET. IMET. That's the one. You ever listen to that one? That was the one when we did the wrap up and you hung up and then he had messaged me that he wanted to come on and I tried to get you to come on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever listen to that one?
No.
Oh, he was pissed. He was pissed, and I just kept digging him. And I'm like trying to tell him that Jaguars the one that lost that game because you have a 14-point lead, and it was like the weather was all fucked up, and you have your quarterback still throwing passes. That's stupid. And then the Eagles they was throwing the football, then they said, oh no, when they start running the football, and they came back and won. Oh, and he was arguing me down
Mm-hmm.
about that. You had a 14-point lead. So we have episode 121, Eagles versus Cardinals. Our boy Ryan Gutierrez. I think that's like his like damn fifth time on here. Twitter handle RGUTIE7. Our other boy, episode 124, Eagles versus Steelers. We got our boy Jeff Baker. His Twitter handle is His Excellence 79. Episode 129, Eagles versus Titans. We have our Will Porter. His Twitter handle is Will Porter 101. And Eagles versus Bears, episode 131. Our boy Mike M. N. I'm sorry. He's also known as the Bargain Brother. That's his Twitter handle. Yeah, I'll try to get him on or to talk to us. So thank you everybody who joined us when we do these. Anything you want to have to say about the end of the season?
Nah, time to focus on basketball now. These goddamn Sixers and they second round exits every year.
Okay, now let's go back to that. And I've been sick and so tired of talking to people about the Super Bowl. I'm like, these people are watching the game and has no idea what the fuck they looking at. And I had went into the bar and I had asked Holly, like, what you think of the game, Holly? She told me something they lost because of the fumble. I said they lost because of the fumble. They scored after that one. They ain't lose because of the fumble. They lost because of this shitty ass coaching.
Mm-hmm. Anytime your offense scored 35 points, that's enough to win. If you give up
Exactly.
38 points, your defense ain't shit, and that's why you lost. That's just the bottom line.
Right. And then the people say, "Oh, this was just such a good season.
Oh,
Oh,
I
they'll
heard that
do
all.
better
I
next
heard that
year."
all. All work at work. Everybody at work was saying that. I ain't want to hear that shit no more.
Exactly. And then they'll say, "Well, we got the Sixers." I said, "What the hell the Sixers going to do? They don't even have
Exactly.
a bench and don't play defense. Do you watch it?"
Now, did you see what's the name gave our boy Thibault some clock? Portland.
And how many minutes he get
He got about 25, 30 minutes.
and how many points he scored?
4 for 6 from 3-point range.
Oh my goodness! Now all of a sudden he a 3-pointer specialist. Now
My
he
man was
supposed to,
getting two points a game for us.
right now he
And
was
then
supposed to known and not a scorer. Now all of a sudden he can score and shoot threes.
oh man, he was running the floor and moving real good. Here, let me pull up his what he did. They kick first off, they kick ass. They beat the Lakers 115 and 127. And they started him too. He played 26 minutes, got 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, and a steal.
So he playing defense and he's scoring.
5 for 9 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3-point range.
So he's scoring, shooting threes, playing defense, but he couldn't do that here. So our coach got to go. This is it. Yeah, this is it. You got no damn bench whatsoever, and you got your starters don't even play damn defense. So what the hell do people think the Sixers are going to do in the in the playoffs?
Yeah, we in trouble. And I try to tell one of the doctors I work with. I try to tell him because he's all hype about the Sixers. And I'm talking about, well, we want to trade because look at Ben Simmons, he ain't shit and this and that. I said, well, if we get bumped in the second round, it's just like he was still here. We ain't get nowhere.
Exactly.
So neither team will win on that trade.
Right. My thing is like how we talked about with the Kyrie Irving trade. Like I trade a player, my top tier player, but you had to give me your top tier player.
Right. I don't want your draft picks and all that bunch of shit.
Right.
You take one of my best players, give me one of your best players. So we ain't talking.
Exactly. Well, we did get Harden out of that, but shit. I mean, Harden is what he is. I mean, he can score. He passes the ball well. Oh, he shoots 3-point. I mean, he shoots free throws good.
But when you got young players like we have, they need to play a fast up-tempo game, and Harden's not going to do that. So you got a fast team with a slow center and a slow point guard, but everybody else is fast.
Right.
I said, and I'm always getting on Embiid, and the doctor don't like that, but I said he played 30 minutes and got 6 rebounds. What kind of shit is that? Right. Oh man, he didn't have to go hard. No, he need to go hard every night. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I said Milton is a guard that came off the bench and had 4 rebounds. So 6 ain't shit. Like he could have grabbed more boards than that.
Right. As big as the biggest man on both teams, the biggest man on both teams should have averaged at least 10. That's average. Now I ain't talking about what he should have got in that game. He should have got at least 10. He should average at least 10. Not 6. That's embarrassing.
It is.
And I blame that all on your coach.
The coach. Yep.
See, Doc is like what they always say. Doc is like the type of the chill coach, the one that
player-friendly coach.
Yeah, the one to drink beer with you and all that type of stuff. Out. Yeah, and some of these guys, you need to get on them.
Yep. Here you go. He played 30 minutes and got 6 rebounds and no blocks.
Yeah, no.
He's 7 feet tall. You can't get at least 1 block.
Exactly. There's point guards that can get 1 block.
Mm-hmm. Shit, Dwayne Wade, he averaged a whole block.
Yep. Well, all right, y'all. You can reach the Judgmentals on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at PNL Judgmentals. Instagram at _Judgmentals. Or you can email us at pnljudgmentals@gmail.com.
Peace out, everybody.
All right.